Alright guys, so ever since Apex came out, we all know that Wraith has always been the #1 legend in this game. Pros love to use her, casuals love to use her, and Wraith has just kind of become, synonymous with being sweaty and being insane. Most Wraith mains are always sweaty and just really good players. Wraith has always held the top spot in this game for like 6 or 7 seasons, and it was kind of impossible to believe Respawn releasing any legend in this game, especially a brand new legend that could possibly overtake Wraith or surpass Wraith in terms of, statistics, in terms of, effectiveness. Wraith was just always that go-to legend for most sweats in Apex, honestly, right? Until Horizon came along. Now, Horizon has been in this game for 1 season. She obviously released in Season 7 and she released in a very, very strong state. Now, Horizon in Season 7 was looked at completely differently compared to Horizon in Season 8 because obviously when she first released in Season 7, she was new. People were still trying to form opinions about Horizon, and obviously everyone needed some time to really get accustomed to using Horizon and see what her strengths were, her weaknesses, all of that stuff. So it took everyone like a full season to really see how effective and how useful Horizon could be in this game. So now we're in Season 8, and if you guys haven't been realizing what's taking place, everyone is really appreciating Horizon's strength now, and even with the Season 8 nerf, she just got nerfed in Season 8, she's still being used a lot, and she's even being regarded now as the best legend in this game. Now this is a big statement to make because, as I said before, Wraith has always held that #1 spot. It almost seemed impossible for Respawn to release a brand new legend in this game that was actually competitive, and taking it even one step further, that could be potentially the best legend in this game. So we're going to be talking about where Horizon actually stands in Apex's meta right now, and how she has surpassed Wraith both in stats, like actual stats that Respawn sees, as well as community perception. If you guys are ready, as always, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 50k subs. I haven't been posting much videos recently, guys. I took a much needed break, but now we're back, we're fully rejuvenated, and I have so many new videos in the works. But today, let's talk about Horizon and how she is now the best legend in this game. Alright, so let's analyze real quick what a legend needs to have to even be considered the best legend in this game. I would say first of all, they need to have some sort of aggression, some sort of aggressive potential, right? Like, people need to be able to play aggressively with you and be successful. So looking at Wraith, obviously Wraith is a very aggressive legend because of her Q, because of her hitbox, and to be aggressive with Wraith isn't too difficult to do. It's very important to also have defense because obviously there will be some very unfortunate sticky situations in Apex. There's no footsteps half of the time, there's Revenant third parties everywhere now, there's Octane jump pads, there's crypto drones randomly pulling up and EMPing you. Now we have Forge who just drops fire from the sky. So it's a very interesting meta right now in Apex, and you need to have some kind of defense in your kit. Not only is Wraith's portal defensive, it's also strategically defensive because you can basically pull out of a gunfight and jump right back into that gunfight whenever you want, which means she has the potential to escape some very sticky situations. So Wraith has both aggression and defense in her kit. Now taking a look at Horizon, in terms of just straight up aggression, I would say most Horizon mains right now are just insanely aggressive, and she has extreme aggressive potential. Her ultimate is a very dangerous ability to have because when she uses that gravity device, Newt, you can basically see where the enemies are within the ultimate. You can also throw like arc stars and frags and thermites and stuff, and you can do some serious damage with Horizon's ult. So it can be very aggressive first of all. Then we have a gravity lift, which acts both as an aggressive ability and a defensive ability. We'll talk more about that very soon. But in terms of it being aggressive, right, it's very, very easy, even more so than Wraith as a Horizon main, to jump into a gunfight because of the gravity lift. Horizons are notorious for third parties because of this ability. It's just such a useful ability to have, which is why so many Horizon mains are very aggressive. You have 100% accuracy in the gravity lift as well, which is insane. It's also defensive because you can use it to basically get out of sticky situations as well. I would say Horizon's Q right now has way more potential than Wraith's Q because of the different situations you can use Horizon's Q in. It's aggressive, it's defensive, and it's also strategic. Yes, Wraith's Q has all of that potential as well, but I just feel like Horizon's Q is, the range of things you can actually do with it is just a lot bigger. So in terms of aggression, I would say Horizon definitely beats out Wraith, and in terms of defense, they're basically neck and neck right now. It depends on your playstyle. Some players might prefer Horizon, some players might prefer Wraith in the defense category, but nevertheless, Horizon is still very close to Wraith in her defensive capabilities, right? Now, Horizon and Wraith also both have insane mobility. And for me, there's only one legend who actually wins this category, and right now it is Horizon, because Horizon's Q, as I said before, is just, you can't really compare Horizon's Q to Wraith's Q in terms of mobility, because of course Horizon's Q has way more mobility, not just for you, but also for your teammates. And this right here is a very big reason why so many people like to play Horizon. It's because of her mobility. It's because of how easy it can be to get around the map, to take high ground with your teammates, to just be a lot more strategic and agile. So Horizon versus Wraith, in terms of mobility, Horizon wins every single time. Now it's really interesting because even with all of those points just made, Horizon still cannot take away from Wraith's effectiveness in this game. Wraith still has a very unique role to play in Apex, a very niche role, and no matter how effective Horizon is, how great Horizon is just in a different lane compared to Wraith. Yes, they can do similar things if you're an aggressive player, and yes, the appeal might be similar because of the type of legend or the type of role they provide in a team, but Wraith has her own lane that Horizon cannot step into, and the exact same thing can go for Horizon. Which is why I feel like Respawn did a great thing introducing Horizon, because it basically shows us that even if, you know, Respawn introduces a very good legend in this game, it doesn't take away from any other legends still being good. Wraith is still great. Gibby is still great. Horizon hasn't completely broken the meta. The only thing Horizon has done is just introduced a new way to play Apex, and she's given players more ways to play, more ways to be effective, more ways to be aggressive and, you know, agile and have more movement opportunities. So Horizon might have surpassed Wraith in terms of community perception and in terms of, like, you know, certain individual things that she can do in game, but Wraith is still an insanely good legend in this game as well. Now with that said, let's get back to Horizon, because it's really interesting how not only are, you know, casuals actually using Horizon a lot more in the game right now, but even pros are switching out Wraith for Horizon in competitive matches. For example, Imperial Hal, TSM Imperial Hal, who is the biggest pro player right now on the scene, he's been using Horizon religiously in all of his recent tourneys and stuff. And don't take that for granted, guys, because the pros, believe it or not, set the tone of this game. What the pros use, everyone else wants to use. And for somebody like TSM Imperial Hal, who has been using Wraith since Apex came out, to actually switch out for Horizon in a pro match, in a tourney, in a tournament, that's insane. It's also very symbolic too, because it shows that Horizon has the stamp of approval from the best pro, or should I say the biggest pro who plays Apex. So with all of those points made, guys, what do you think right now of Horizon's place in the meta, and what do you think of Wraith's place in the meta? Do you think Horizon has surpassed Wraith? Do you think Wraith is just unsurpassable, if that makes any sense? What do you think right now of the whole Wraith versus Horizon debate going on? My personal thoughts is that Horizon definitely has more effectiveness in certain situations, but Wraith still has a very unique and, you know, special kit that no one could take away and no one could replace. But Horizon is still insane. So that's it for me today, guys. Let me know your thoughts as always, and I'll see you in some more Apex. Till next time.